What's up, self-healers? Lisa Lightfeather here. Welcome to my channel, Closing the Gap, where we make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your spiritual journey. Thank you for all of your likes, subscribes, and shares. You're greatly appreciated. Today I will be covering the topic of karmic contracts versus soul contracts and how to close them. So let's start with karmic contracts. What is karma? Karma is a debt that's owed from previous lives. We're birthed into this lifetime with that debt. And the thing is that karmic debt has to be paid during this lifetime. Now, you may be carrying karmic debt from previous lives because we've been here over and over and over again. So this karmic debt, what might it look like? Karmic debt can come in the form of your job, your career. It can come in the form of family members. It can come in the form of intimate relationships. The most common one that people are familiar with are the intimate relationships. Yes? There's a debt to be paid there. So, a karmic relationship might look like a cycle of behavior. It's something that we continuously do over and over again, even though it hasn't proven to be beneficial to us. So one might say, why do I keep attracting the same type of woman? Every woman I attract, she only wants material things. She only wants money. Every woman I attract abandons me. Every man that I attract, he only wants certain things from me. Every man that I attract, he wants to abuse me. He wants to hurt me. And so we find ourselves doing the same thing over and over and over again, either with the same person and no results, the same results, which are usually traumatic and trauma-filled, or we go from person to person to person. It may be a different person. It may be she has a different body. She has a different hair texture. She's a different ethnicity. She's a different person completely. But she's coming with the same energy, with the same vibrational frequency. Yeah? She's coming to abandon you. She's coming to use you. He's coming to abuse you. He's coming to hurt you in some way. These are karmic cycles. How can you tell when you meet someone if they're karmic or not? One of the biggest ways that you can tell if someone is karmic is that you are immediately attracted to them. You have to have them. There's just something about them. You know? You've been there where it's just like, oh my God, I just got to have that person. That's a sign that is a karmic relationship. It's what some people refer to as love at first sight. Yes? Another way that we can identify karmic patterns is, let's use a job, for example. We're never able to keep a job. This could be because you're not in your calling, but there's a lesson to learn there before you can go to your calling. Yes? And so you're in this job and you're in this cycle. And every time you get to the job, you're in there for 6 weeks and you just quit. I can't take that boss. I can't take the energy that's there. I can't take these people. And every job you get, it's the same thing. So if you have 5 jobs in a year, and they all end in the same result, it's not the job, it's you. It's a karmic cycle. Yeah? Maybe one has to go through this because they're not supposed to work for anyone in this lifetime. They're supposed to open their own business or whatever, right? And so you're learning these karmic cycles. So how do you close a karmic cycle? You close a karmic cycle by recognizing it. This could take years. As you self-heal and as you continue to grow, yes, you'll start to recognize the karmic cycles faster and faster and faster. So instead of spending 4 years in a relationship before you realize this isn't the relationship for me, you spend a week in it or 2 weeks. You're like, nah, this isn't the relationship for me. And it's not out of a toxic behavior that you're jumping from relationship to relationship to relationship. It's out of being able to recognize the karmic cycles. And every time you recognize the karmic cycles, you get closer and closer and closer to your true mate. Yes? So that's how you close karmic cycles, is that you recognize them when they're happening. For those of you who study astrology, one way, there's a few ways, but one way of recognizing a karmic cycle is if their astrological Saturn, their natal Saturn, where Saturn was when they were born, is in the same house as your natal North Node. That's one way of recognizing it astrologically. Yeah? So that's one reason it's important to know your birth chart, to learn how to read astrology, because you can see what's coming before it comes. And we are here to evolve. So karmic relationships will also assist you in evolving. So they're a necessity. And debt has to be paid. Yeah? So it's a necessity, but it's also a necessity. The goal is to learn to see the cycles and get off of the karmic wheel. So that's karmic relationships. What are soul contracts? Soul contracts are an agreement between two people that I will assist you on your journey. I will assist you in evolving and catapulting you to the next level of healing, or to the next level of spirituality, or the next level of love, the next level of compassion. There are agreements that we make with others. Yes? Now these agreements can be that I will support you along your journey. I'll be that one light in your life that supports you along your journey. Or the agreement can be ill-fated. Or the agreement might be that I will cross boundaries with you. I will push you. I will cross boundaries with you until you can't take it anymore. So let's start there. Soul contracts usually or can be people that are in your family. It can be your brother or your sister or your mother or your father, your parents. They can be long-term, like with family members, or they can be brief encounters. But whatever the encounter is, it catapults you into the next level. It catapults you into growth. So let's just say you have someone in your life that is in your life, and the contract is that I will push you, I will cross boundaries with you. And the way that they cross boundaries with you is that they're always the damsel in distress. They're always in need. Something is always wrong. They're addicted to drugs. They're in some type of turmoil. And you love them dearly, and you don't want to see them in that turmoil. And so in the contract, in the small print, it says, I will have you love me, and I will do everything in my power to destroy my own life, and you will spend years trying to rescue me, trying to heal me, trying to fix me. So what might that contract be? What might be the lesson? The lesson may be that you need to learn how to stop being a doormat. allowing one to use me, to abuse me. They have no intention on healing. They have no intention on getting better. They have no intention on being fixed. But in my mind, I can fix them. I can heal them. I can make it better for them. And so I spend years doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, trying to fix them because I love them. But in actuality, it is them who loves us. Yes? They have signed a contract, an agreement with you, that they will teach you how to set solid boundaries. They'll teach you that you cannot heal anyone that doesn't want to be healed. You can't fix anyone that doesn't want to be fixed. That's the contract. They've come back to teach you this. Because in previous lives, you were the rescuer. You were the one that wanted to run around and save everybody, negating the fact that you yourself needed saving. Negating the fact that you yourself needed healing. And so you run around trying to save them because it makes you feel good for a second. It's like an addict. It's like a drug addict. You fix them for a second. They're homeless again. You get them a home. You get them a car. You get them food. You get all their benefits put back into place. And 6 months later, they're in the same spot they were in after all of that work. But for a minute, you feel good about yourself. Finally, you realize that this person is never going to change. But that could be 20, 30 years down the road. You've put this work into this person for 20 or 30 years. Because it's your sister, or it's your brother, or it's your mother, or your father, or somebody that you love. And then you realize something happens. You know, their 50th birthday comes and you realize this person is 50 years old. I've been doing this for 35 years. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it hits you. This isn't working. And you feel it when the contract is closed. I'm done. And you know you'll never do it again. There's just this inner knowing. You don't hate the person. You're not angry at the person. The key to closing the contract is as simple as forgiving. Acknowledging the part that you played in the contract. Learning your lessons. So the next time someone comes and they want to be rescued, and they want to be healed, and they want to be fixed, you recognize it. First of all, I can't rescue you. I can't heal you. I can't fix you. You have to do that. I can hold space for you. But I'm only holding space until I see that you're serious. The second I see that you're in a karmic loop and you're in a cycle, contract closed. Yes? So how might one recognize a soul contract? A soul contract is designed to liberate you, to free you from a bondage that's holding you back on your spiritual and on your healing journey. A soul contract that says, I will support you. I'll be there for you. Yes, it may be a brother, a sister, a friend. Let's just say it's your brother. Yes? Or your sister. And you have a gift that no one else sees. Everyone else just thinks, yeah, that's just what they do. You're an artist. You have a gift of art, of creativity, whether that's in painting or decorating or singing or some type of musical gift. You have a gift. And there's this one person that can see you. And so they save up their money. And instead of going out and buying candy for themselves, They go out and they buy a pad and colored pencils for you. They want to encourage you. They want to hold space for you. They don't tell you what direction to go in, but they see your gift and they buy the paintbrush. They gift you the easel board, or they gift you the microphone or the musical instrument. They encourage your gifts and they hold space for you along your journey. When you fail, they're the ones that's there that says, you got this, get back up. They're the one that's there when you bring your report card home and you have a C, a D, and an F, and mom and dad put you on restriction. You're not going outside. You're not watching any video games. You're not playing any video games. You're not watching any television. You're on restriction until those grades come up. They're the ones that go into the bedroom with you and tell you, you got this, man. Go back to school, keep trying. You'll get it. Don't worry. Those are the ones that hold space for you. Those are soul contracts. You may evolve past them. It doesn't bother them. They want you to grow. Because in the small print of the contract, it says, I'll be there. I'll walk you through this journey. I'll walk with you. And they do it with love. It's not a perfect relationship. Because remember, they're there to help you evolve. And sometimes evolving is painful. A soul contract can be ill-fated. There can be a debt that's owed within that soul contract. So let's just say you and your sister are 7 and 9 years old, and your sister gets into an incident where her life is in danger. And you run to her rescue and you save her in some way, form, or fashion. Yeah? And you've saved her life in some way. Now you're both in your 30s and you find yourself in a situation where your life is in danger. And your sister runs and she saves your life. Now, although the first one happened when you were 7 and 8, you saved your big sister's life. And now that you're 30 and 32 and 33, your big sister saves your life. There was a contract there. Yeah? The contract was that we would save one another. That may also be a karmic debt. So contracts liberate you from karmic debt as well. Yes? Not trying to confuse you, but sometimes contracts liberate one from karmic debt. It could be ill-fated where you have the big sister that her only goal is to agitate you, is to bother you, or his only goal, your big brother or your little brother's only goal is to agitate you, kind of like the, was it Cain and Abel, you know, where they're always jealous of you, they're always belittling anything that you do. Yeah? Nothing you do is ever good enough. They're always in competition with you. What might be the lesson with that? There could be a karmic debt in there, where in a previous life you were the one doing the agitating. Or there may be, it's a way to evolve you so that you're able to recognize when people are against you and not for you. Why would one use your sister or your brother or your mother or father to do something like that? Remember, we come back in these cell groups. We just switch places. There may be a karmic debt there owed. But their only job was to be competitive with you, to tell you that, everything you did, they try to one up you, or they belittle whatever it is that you do. You may have to learn what that feels like in order to evolve to the next level. Because along your journey, there will be people like that. Do you buckle under pressure? Or do you recognize it? So this contract goes on and on and on until finally you're like, I've had enough. I'm done. And you know when you're done. When you walk away from contracts, right? From soul contracts, you know when you're done. You know you'll never go back. But there's one thing with that has to be done in order for it to be closed. Because you could feel it within your soul that it's not closed. You may walk away. You may never speak to that person again. You may never have anything to do with them again. But something in your soul knows that contract is not closed. There's still this pull. You know that this person is going to come back in some way, or you're going to go back in some way. So what is the secret when you're done, and you know you're done, to closing the contract? The secret is simple. Or should I say simpler said than done? Right in the small print of the contract, it says the only way that you can close it is to forgive. Forgive the person and forgive yourself for the part that you've played in it. Give thanks for the lessons learned and go forward. Now, on a lighter note, when the soul contract is someone that's there to support you, that contract could be in your life until you or the person transitions. The person becomes your ancestor or your spirit guide on the other side. Those soul contracts watch you evolve, assist you in your evolving. Or you may be the one doing that for someone else. You may be their biggest cheerleader. Because you have a contract with that person to be there for them on their journey, to watch them evolve and go to the next level. Closing soul contracts can be sad because there's a journey that you and that person have been on, and you realize that no matter how bad it's been, no matter how traumatic it's been, that person was there for you out of love. They agreed to help you, to assist you in evolving in this lifetime. And it took them being the villain or it took you being the villain to someone else in order for them to evolve. You don't consciously know this. This is in the soul. This is an agreement that we made before we came back. We don't remember the agreement. So no matter how traumatic soul contracts are, they're there to assist you in evolving, and they're agreed upon out of love. So forgive. When you're done, when you've had enough, when you can't take it anymore, the key to closing a soul contract is forgiveness. The key to closing karmic cycles is recognizing, I keep doing this. Nothing else is happening. Nothing good is coming from this. And you can close these contracts when you're ready. Don't worry, they can't be closed prematurely. They cannot be closed prematurely. Your soul knows when it's time to close it. And it doesn't mean you don't love the person. It doesn't mean that this person will never be in your life again. It means the behavior has come to a halt. And when you see that behavior in that person or anybody else. But 9 times out of 10, if you close a contract, you won't see that behavior in that person again. Because they feel it when you've energetically severed the connection. Yeah? So that's what I have today on karmic contracts versus soul contracts and how to close them and what they're designed to do in your lifetime. I hope that this information has assisted you on your journey. I hope that you recognize the part that people play in your life and the part that you play in others' lives, and that we're all here to assist one another in evolving. Thank you for tuning into my channel here on Closing the Gap, where we make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your spiritual journey. Thank you for all of your likes, subscribes, and shares. You're greatly appreciated. We'll see you next time.